All right, so let's go through and let's review ServSafe, and let's see kind of how they're going to ask questions. This is going to require some participation, as in telling me what you think the answer is, kind of thing. Okay? Ready? All right, so let's just go through them. If chemicals are transferred to a secondary container, the secondary container must be labeled with what? If you got bleach in a bottle and you take it out of the original bleach bottle and you put it in another bottle, what do you have to have on that other bottle?
The name.
The common name, yeah. Yeah, the common name. This question is an example of what ServSafe will do every now and then. This is literally one sentence in the book. It's not mentioned in the PowerPoints. It's not mentioned anywhere else. It's one sentence in the book, and they put it as a question, okay? Water activity is a measure of what? Any idea? It's the vapor pressure that's in there, the vapor pressure. They don't do many questions like that, just a couple, maybe.
It's going to be on Blackboard.
Yes, yes. All right, so to ensure proper hygiene when handling food, it is important to have what? Any other thoughts? All right, so I've heard a C and I've heard B. So let's look at all the answers here. Utensils to serve ready-to-eat food. That could be right? I mean, you got to have utensils to serve ready-to-eat food, yeah? An approved hand washing sink, you got to have. Separate cutting boards for meat and vegetables. It's not required, but it's really kind of important. It helps out to keep from cross-contamination, right? Clean plates on the buffet, right? You can't have people reusing plates at the buffet. So really, in their own way, all four answers are correct, right? So then what makes B correct out of all of them? Right, because they're asking about hygiene, okay? And that's one of the things that you got to be careful. ServSafe will list literally every answer will be right in its own sense, but it's not right with how they ask the question, okay? Hot food must be received at or above a temperature of what?
135.
Why 135? Right, so that's the temperature danger zone, right? That's above the temperature danger zone. So 41 to 135, temperature danger zone. You got to keep things at or above those or below those, right? So 135. A nursing home has prepared a roast on Tuesday for service the next day. The roast should be reheated to what? Any thoughts? What's that? D? Yeah. So let's look at these answers. The first thing that they did is they listed ways to heat things up. We know we can't reheat in a steam table, right? Because it doesn't heat quick enough. Okay, so that's not a proper way. We can reheat in a microwave. We can reheat in a steamer. And we can reheat in an oven. Okay, so those parts are correct. The only thing that really matters here, other than the steam table thing, the only thing that really matters here is the temperature that we're getting to, right? Doesn't matter what we reheat it in, as long as it's something that will do it quickly. right? So 165 degrees anytime we're reheating anything, right? Any foods, we got to get to 165 degrees. Large ice crystals on a case of frozen poultry indicate that the product has been what? Thawed and refrozen. Yep, thawed and refrozen. A nursing home food manager best protects the elderly residents' health by serving which of these items? Pasteurized apple cider, yeah. So you can't serve fresh squeezed juice, right? It's a nursing home, high-risk population, okay? So you can't serve fresh squeezed juice. You can't serve farm fresh eggs. They have to be pasteurized. You can't serve undercooked meat, right? So the pasteurized apple cider. Food preparation equipment shall be certified for sanitation by who? Any thoughts? So the local regulatory authority, what do they do? Do we remember? Inspections, right? So that's like your Department of Health that comes in and inspects your restaurant. What about the FDA? They write a lot of our food laws that the local regulatory authority adapts to their particular state, okay? What about the USDA? What do they do? Remember when we talked at meat cutting, there's a USDA inspector on site to inspect the quality of the meat and for wholesomeness and things like that. So then for equipment, it has to be the ANSI. Okay, and if you look on equipment somewhere, a lot of times they'll just say NSI, but it'll have it'll be embossed on there, have a sticker on there, something like that, said it's certified through them. Another thing that kind of helps you out with this is it says certification program, and it asks which one is certified. That should say coated, not coasted. Using coated or shatter-resistant light bulbs is a way to prevent which type of contamination? Which one? Physical, yeah. Yeah, physical. Anytime something is actually in the food itself. Which food should be stored below all others in a cooler? What should go on your bottom shelf? Raw poultry. What device prevents backflow when a hose is connected to a faucet? All right, I heard air gap, and what did somebody else say?
Oh, I said air gap too.
Air gap. All right. So we're looking for a device. An air gap is we don't directly connect our plumbing, right? So like if you look at our sinks and all in there, how it's the big floor sink, and then the drain pipe's just sitting there over the top of it. That's the air gap. Okay. So what would be a device? Nope.
Vacuum maker?
Yeah, it's the vacuum breaker, right? That will prevent the backflow from happening because it doesn't let it create a vacuum. Good job. All right. Shrimp for seafood salad is cooked on Tuesday, October the 13th, cooled to below 41 degrees. Cold pasteurized crab meat is added to the cooked shrimp on Thursday, October the 15th. Combined with chilled mayonnaise and spices, plated on a bed of lettuce and placed in a cooler for banquet service on Friday, October 16th. What is the use-by date for the leftover panned seafood salad?
October 19th.
Why the 19th?
6 days after. No, 7 days including the day.
Yeah, 7 days including the day, right? You start on the day that you, of the oldest product that you're using, and then 7 days. Nice job. When cooling a stock pot of soup, the first step in the process should be to what? You got a big pot of soup or stock or whatever, and you got to cool it down. What's the first thing you need to do to cool that product quickly? Right? Get it into smaller portions. Okay? That big, large pot's going to hold heat for a really, really long time. Break it down into smaller portions. A thermometer in a cooler should be placed in what part? Any idea?
Warmest?
Yeah. The warmest part of the cooler, right? So you know what your warmest part is. Do you know where the warmest part would be? At the door. Yep, at the door. The regulatory authority must be notified if a food handler is diagnosed with an illness caused by which one of these? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Salmonella. Which potential biological food safety hazard does smoking in the food and prep areas cause? See? Exactly right. Saliva can get on food handlers' hands. Good job. An employee vomits while preparing food or prepping food. What action should the manager take in order to prevent the spread of neurovirus? C, yep, apply your strict cleaning and sanitizing procedures. Biological contaminants that can result in food poisoning. D, bacteria, virus, and toxins. When inspecting a shipment of fresh fruit and vegetable, food handlers should what? B. Good job. Which technique is acceptable for cooling a TCS food? Which one? B? Uh-huh. Yep. Good job. So you notice how this is very similar to the other question? All right, ServSafe is 90 questions long. Okay, it's a 90-question test. They do a lot of asking the same question twice, just in a different way. Okay, really it's only about 45 questions, but they ask a lot of the questions twice, okay?
Is it like a paper exam or is it online?
It'll be online. Yeah, we'll take it in here because you have to take it with a certified proctor. Yeah, so we'll take it in here, and the reason that we do the online, they do have a paper version, but the reason that we do the online version is you find out immediately if you pass. So if we take the paper version, it can take easily a month to get the results back.
Is it just pass fail?
No, yeah, it's graded. You got to make at least a 75. Right, at least a 75 on it to pass it. All right, and that's where we're going to stop at this week, okay? And next week we're gonna do some more of those review questions. Keep going over all your ServSafe stuff, right? Keep looking at it. Every time you take this exam, it costs you $35. Okay, because you have to buy the exam voucher for $36. You have to buy the exam voucher from ServSafe. So we don't want to have to take this a whole bunch, right? We only want to take it once, get it done with, and then you're good to go.